Hey, this is Pastor Steele. I'm so glad you tuned in to another edition of Still Strong Podcast. I'm sitting here with my three sons.
What's up, everybody? I'm Isaiah Steele.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Isaac Steele.
What's up? It's Ira Steele.
But real quick, let's get into it. The Steelers ended up beating the LA Rams this past Sunday. Big, huge win for us.
Absolutely.
I feel like we have been playing better away from home for whatever reason. Now, mind you, Steeler Nation travels everywhere, so everywhere we go is like a home game. But for whatever reason, we can't lose on the road right now, man. We're going into places and we taking names. They beat the Rams. There was a controversial call at the end of the game. I don't know if y'all saw it.
I saw it.
But we did a QB sneak, the brotherly shove, as they call it up in Philadelphia. And obviously, I think we were about a yard and a half short.
Yes.
They reviewed it. The Rams had no other timeouts. They gave us the first down and we win the game. Now, mind you, we were up by 7 regardless.
Yeah,
with under a minute left.
There was like 50 seconds left.
Yeah, but a lot of the Rams, I was hearing a lot of stuff. People in my DMs talking about the refs cheated them, and I'm like, bro, y'all lost.
And the play before that, remember they called a personal foul on Deontay Johnson.
Yep.
For taunting, but like. It's funny if you go back and watch it. His name's Witherspoon, the corner. I forgot his first name. He played for the Steelers, and like it was friendly. Like you know, he did a little shush to him and like hit his back. And they were laughing. And the ref threw the flag, called that back. Of course, the next play, that play happened. You know, they tried to sneak all that. So I've definitely seen people trying to say it's a controversy, but come on now, the game should have been sealed anyway with that.
For sure.
Interference on Deontay Johnson.
I don't like that because a personal foul in the PI is 15 yards. It offsets. So it was just a replay down. We got it. That was 3rd and 8. We made it 4th and 1, and then that's when we did the brotherly shove. But we got a good spot by the ref.
Great spot.
They came out there. I looked at Ira. I was like, dude, are they serious? When they put the ball down, I was like, bro, we look short. And then on the replay, his knee went down because he slipped. I was like, bro, I don't know how we got this done.
It was right before 2 minutes, and they had no timeout, so they didn't even challenge it.
Challenge it because it wasn't under 2 minutes yet.
Yeah, booth review is,
because I will say if they were able to challenge it, it would have definitely got overturned. They would have been their ball.
Yeah.
But I don't think people understand because you're hearing a lot of talk about the QB sneak. Now, since we were kids, 4th and 1, he would always be like, just sneak it. Whether we watching a college game, NFL game, high school game, just sneak it. But in the NFL, obviously, you got all these super massive, strong men.
Yes.
And people don't understand how the Eagles are doing it. I'm going to tell you right now how the Eagles are doing it. The fact that Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds, that plus you got A.J. Brown, who's a big human, pushing him in the back, and then you got Jason Kelsey snapping the ball. He's a big human moving bodies. I mean, that's why it works for them. Kenny Pickett, love him to death, but he's not your prototype QB sneaker. No. My guy is built like a baseball player. He's not squatting 315. He's not squatting 400. Yes, he could be a relief pitcher for the Padres.
No, I can't lie. I watched the Patriots try to do that sneak with Mac Jones. Boy, they almost got knocked out the goal line.
How you lose 4 yards on a sneak?
I was like, bro, I seen Jones. We saw Kirk Cousins try to do it, and of course Fred Warner jumped over the top on the Monday night game.
That was tight.
So like you said, they like. Hurts is clearly just strong as heck. Like he can get under the sneak and just go off of just pure strength in his legs. So the play definitely is for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
It's not.
And I feel like if you really want to, I know this ain't. I don't know how we got on the sneak thing, but if you really want a QB sneak to work, you get your biggest dude and teach him how to take a snap. Like, imagine if the Niners taught Trent Williams how to get a snap and go straight.
Man.
Like, you're not stopping that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, it could be bad for the game because people are like, oh, well, now it's rugby and yada, yada, yada.
No, I would. But it makes sense. Let's say you're let's say you're the Commanders and you need, what's his name? Logan Thomas, former quarterback.
Yep.
Big tight end. You get him under center with the push. I feel like stuff like that would actually be super smart and strategic.
It would.
Because I seen the what's his name, Mike Sirianni, Nick Sirianni? Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles. He said, with us having the brotherly shove, he said it's basically 1st and 9.
I love that. That's great.
We're not worried about that 1 yard.
Yeah.
And y'all know that football is a game of inches. If you have a 1 yard advantage every possession, then you're going to win. If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm going to teach a tight end or a fullback or somebody who I think is worthy enough to get it to do that shove because that's literally changing the game.
Like how we did at Centennial, we had a heavy personnel. We'd bring in like Boston and Chris, a whole bunch of D linemen and O linemen, and I'd run a quarterback sweep, and they'd all just be blocking for me. Man,
that's
smart.
You know who I used to
do that same
You know
thing.
who I used to hate doing that was Stanford back in the day.
Yeah.
Stanford had this big man pack that they would bring in.
They bring in 4 tight ends.
Man,
remember that?
there's only 11 allowed on the field. I'm like, how they got 13 linemen on the field right now?
Yep. I remember that. Stanford used to always
Andrew Luck would just run right behind them.
Yep.
I used to hate that
4
stuff.
tight ends.
They bring in 4
Four
tight ends.
That's
Big
that old
boys.
football, that Jim Crow football.
What they call
man,
it,
back
3
in the
yards
day.
in a cloud of
Yeah,
dust.
I'm saying back when it was 5
Speaking
teams. in the
of
NFL.
that, who's the best team right now in the NFL? Because I feel like a couple weeks ago it was the Niners.
Yeah.
Couldn't nobody see the Niners. I didn't see them getting beat by anybody.
They've lost 2 in a row.
They've lost 2 in a row. And then Miami, everybody was talking about Miami after they won that big game, 70-20 or whatever it was against Denver.
Yeah.
And then they get beat last week by a good Buffalo. Was it Buffalo?
It was Eagles.
Eagles. Good
And
Eagles
lost,
team.
they got lost to Buffalo too. They got rammed.
They did
by
lose
Buffalo
to
beat
Buffalo.
them.
Yeah.
That's what I was
You're
thinking
right.
of. Yeah,
Right.
but then the Eagles just beat them this past Sunday on Sunday Night Football. But so like right now, who's the best NFL team in y'all opinion?
I think it's Kansas City Chiefs right now. You still got to give them the nod. I mean, they just won the championship back in February of this year. Like you said, 2 weeks ago, if you asked me this question, I would have said the 49ers. Sure. Because they had so much momentum. Their quarterback hadn't lost the regular season game, but now he's dropped the last 2.
Yeah.
So I got to give the nod to the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Man, I have to still give the nod. Ooh, that's tough. But I'm going to say the Niners. I feel like the Niners, although they lost these 2 games, they still have more depth than Kansas City, I feel like. I feel like Kansas City, once they lose Travis Kelce, they're just mediocre. You know, they don't have depth like that.
Sure.
But I feel like with the Niners, when somebody goes down, they got somebody to come right back up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to still give it to the Niners, and I feel like their defense is better than Kansas City's as well.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Now, I said it earlier, and people might see it as controversial. I think the best team right now, the hottest team in the NFL, is the Baltimore Ravens. I think the way Lamar Jackson's playing, I think he's playing, closest that we've seen to his 2019 peak when he was, of course, the MVP. I think the way Jackson, of course, he's in our division. We don't want to see it.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna call a spade, and I think the way Lamar's playing with Mark Andrews, you got the receivers catching the ball now finally.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing rumors and circulations that they're trying to get Derrick Henry in a trade. So if they get a guy like Derrick Henry in the backfield with Lamar Jackson
Dang.
and Mark Andrews up the field, Odell Beckham's coming into his own. You got Zay Flowers,
Yeah.
balling out. Bateman.
And I'm
He's good.
gonna back you up on this too. If you think about it, that Steelers game, if they don't lose that game or drop those balls, they only lose one game this season because
Easy.
that's
They
it.
should- and they
Like,
should-
I'll
that's
be
a
honest with you.
We should have lost.
We snuck off with
Like,
that
we
one.
snuck that
They should have
win.
won.
That
And
was
they,
good.
lost to the Colts in overtime, So I feel like
Yeah.
the games that they did lose, they could have easily won. So
Yeah.
I think, as of today, if I got to throw some money down, a team that, going take over, it definitely is the Ravens.
They
But
are
Dad, I feel you
scary.
on the Chiefs,
They're
though.
scary.
'Cause
And
just Mahomes-
their defense slept on
you got
good
Roquan
too.
Smith,
Yep.
you got Marlon
Yep.
Humphrey, you got a good guy. So, but Dad, you're right though. I think the Chiefs, Niners, I feel you on that too. It's just, it's all a flip of a coin. We don't know. It's week 6, 7, 8.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the
Yeah.
season, so it's we're kind of at a crossroads right now.
Yeah.
And I
It's
feel
whoever
like
gets hot.
these first 7 weeks have flown, man.
Yeah.
Like it seems like we were just talking about week 1 a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
real talk.
predictions.
Yeah.
But right now, in my opinion, them Philadelphia Eagles is flying, man. They have a high power. Their defense plays with passion. That's the thing I like about them. They may not have like the Niners defense as far as like the big names and stuff like that.
Right.
But they're passionate. They're out there. They play,
fly around.
Yeah, they play like they give a damn. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like college almost. Like they don't want to make a mistake.
Like they still got something to prove.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
they flying around, and that's just coaching. You know
It
what I
is.
mean?
It is.
So they fly around, and then of course their offense is high powered. You got Jalen that can run and throw. And then, like you said earlier, Nick Sirianni come out last week and said every time we start a drive, we know it's 1st and 9. Because they know once we get down there, it's 4th and 1. We're gonna get that yard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
93% of the time they're getting it, which is crazy. I think
93%.
they've done it 44 times this year. They've got 41 first downs.
I just wonder how they're going to curve it. Like somebody has to. I don't know.
There's
how.
no way to stop it. Like I don't. You can. You know who? What's his name? Fred Warner. This past Monday night when he jumped over and grabbed old boy. Like you can do that to Kirk Cousins, but you're not going to jump over and just grab Jalen like that. Jalen just going to drag you right back the other way.
Right on top of him.
His legs.
He just gonna keep going.
Dude's legs is strong as get out. He might have the heaviest squat next to Nick Chubb in the NFL,
Yeah,
which
in college,
is crazy.
I think he squatted like 625 pounds or 640.
He could have went to the.
Crazy.
Did you hear? He could have went to be like an Olympian. Like if he wanted to train, he could legit in his
Be a power lifter?
like be a power lifter or whatever.
That's crazy.
But I say all to say, I think the Eagles right now are on top of the league. Obviously, them and Chiefs, they end up meeting sometime in November. They play each other again.
Yeah, they meet.
They got week 13.
Yeah, that's a game I've already circled on the calendar. I ain't moving during that whole game because those are the 2 best teams in the NFL right now.
Dolphins Chiefs meet, I think, in 2 weeks in London.
Oh, do they
Are
really
they
play
in London
or Germany?
Germany? Yeah,
Or Germany,
I did
okay.
see that.
So
That's cool.
It's at 6 a.m. Arizona time. So
Man, we have to
we'll be
wake
early
up.
watching that.
Early rising, grand rising, as you say. Yeah, man. But yeah, so in the NFL, we really don't know. We'll see as this thing continues to roll.
Yeah.
As we go into week 8, of course, we're rooting for our Steelers against the Jags this Sunday.
Yup.
At home, it's a little bit of a trap game for us, but I mean, if we go in there and handle our business, we should be straight.
And we're
Yeah.
sitting at 4-2.
Yeah, man. By the grace of
They're-
God,
They're 4-2 as well,
grace of
right?
God.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
The
they're
Jags are
4-2.
good. The Jags are good.
Jags are 5-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look good.
Speaking of records and whatnot, the NBA is officially back too. I swear this is the world's shortest offseason I've ever seen in my life. It feels like it was just yesterday. We seeing Joker run off the court happy and then mad the next day when he had to stay for the parade.
And I mean, that was what?
He's a
That
desert
was,
parade.
that was
I'll
this
go
year.
That was this year.
Was that in July?
July.
And here we are, October.
Yeah.
June
It
or
was
something.
crazy.
That was June,
watching,
July.
Yeah, watching because we were watching the Diamondbacks and the Philly.
Yep.
Then we turn around. We're watching the Suns and the Golden State
Suns,
Warriors.
and then we're sitting, just standing around. You got football. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like everything's going on right now.
Yeah, hockey's even back. I know we don't watch it, but I've seen hockey on.
hockey's
I'm like,
back. That's the
shoot,
best
I'm like
time of the year.
everything. Like this is the best time of the year because everything's flowing.
Weather's
right now.
feeling
Everything's
good.
going.
Yep.
You know, it's the best.
Yep, we're in sweater weather down there, and then
Yeah.
you got like you said, hockey, baseball, basketball, football,
Yeah.
college football, a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But the NBA's back. The Lakers unfortunately lose. We're LeBron
Yeah,
advocates.
I'm a LeBron fan.
The Lakers unfortunately lose this past what was that Monday?
Monday or no Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday, one of the days.
two.
They end up losing.
Tuesday.
Anthony Davis disappears once again. I don't know how many times we got to talk about this, but for whatever reason, man, I want AD to be AD, like the AD that we think we know, as far as he should be scoring 40 a game. I mean, when you look at him, he's a unstoppable force. He's moving the ball. He obviously can dribble a little bit.
Yeah.
But he be on the perimeter a little too much for my liking. Dude, you're 7
Saw
feet.
that. Yep.
Get under. I grew up in a dispensation. Me and I were talking about this earlier before the show. If you're tall, you're in the paint. If you're medium, you're on the wing.
Yep.
If you're short, you're the point guard. Like that's the kind of traditional basketball we grew up watching.
Yep.
You got a lot of 7-footers out here running around the 3-point line, and it's low key irritating me.
And he's not KD. I mean,
No.
KD can
one
do
of
that.
one.
What's KD 6'9"?
Yeah.
6'8"?
6'10".
They
6'10",
saying, people
yeah.
say he's 7 foot with the shoes on out there. You know?
Yeah,
No
so-
haircut, 7 feet.
Yeah, AD's got to come
brush.
to the revelation that you're not KD, man.
Yeah,
we
you're
need
not.
you to go hang out in that paint.
Yeah.
That boy's scared of Jokic.
He not Jokic, bro. That's what it is. He not Jokic. Jokic, you seen him. He got footwork in the paint,
But
and he'll
Ira
be
always say-
outside diamond shooting threes.
Ira said that he's scared of Jokic.
No, well, my thing is this: he had 17 in the first half, and I think he had 0 second half. And I think
Yeah.
on like
Yeah,
I
I'm
think he had
looking
five,
right
I think he
now.
had 5 or 6 attempts in the second half. But the thing is this: it makes me frustrated as a Lakers fan. When we first got Anthony Davis, it was kind of the end of LeBron's reign.
Sure.
LeBron won, of course, the Finals MVP, won the championship in the bubble that year, and AD's first year with the Lakers. Me personally, I'm thinking, okay, this is LeBron's gonna get the MVP, Finals MVP. LeBron gets the praise, but it's time for the passing and changing of the guard.
Right.
We got AD, who I think he's even 30 years old. Yeah, he might be 30 even. Like, we got a young guy who's going to take over for LeBron, who's obviously aging. LeBron will be 39 in December.
Yeah.
We thought by this time in his third, fourth season as a Laker that AD would be the undisputed, leader
Yeah,
of the team.
right.
For sure.
But at this point, it's not happening. And it sucks because, you got a guy like LeBron who's playing limited minutes. LeBron still, I think he had 21 points.
Dang, he had 21
8 and
points,
5.
only played 29
He had 8
minutes.
and 5, right? Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
21, 8 and 5.
Yeah, 21, 8 and 5. Only
Yep.
played less than 30 minutes. And these dude's 40 years old.
He's
so
the,
much mileage
He's
on
the
his body.
oldest, officially the oldest player in, the NBA.
He is?
Yes, he is. He's the oldest player
Officially.
in the NBA. So I'm saying it's frustrating. It's frustrating because at this point you would think Anthony Davis signing him, that AD would be stepping in over the role and clearly the clear cut leader of the team in points and rebounds, blocks, whatever else. But LeBron has to come out there and play, not take a break for us to
Right.
win. It shouldn't be like that at all.
Shouldn't be. Like, even his numbers, 21, 8 and 5, that's where he should
Yes,
be right now at
unless-
this age.
yes,
He shouldn't be
yes.
no 30, 10, and 10 no
No.
more like how he used to be. No.
He shot like 10 for 16, right?
He shot, 10 for 16.
Yeah, efficient.
1 for 4, 3-point range. That's still 25%.
turnovers.
No turnovers. Yeah, bro. He had a steal.
Yeah.
He had a block. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on, man.
Guess what? He
Like-
should be coasting at that number.
Yeah.
Right.
While AD should be averaging 26, 27.
Right.
12 and,
He only had
a couple
17,
assists.
8 and 4.
And had 17 at the half.
Yeah,
Just
second half completely disappeared. He messed up a lot of people's parlays. I'm not gonna say. I ain't gonna say who.
But Bubble AD was hitting step back buzzer beaters and whatnot, blocking everybody.
Man.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. We need that. Yeah,
he was looking like that guy.
He was looking like that dude.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he just.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it before on the podcast. If some people just don't got that dog in them, man.
Yeah.
It's something that you got to be born with.
Right.
We all know that Jimmy Butler is the most dog person we know in the NBA.
Oh, that guy's something.
Hands down.
Just a dog. I'm gonna take it over. I don't care. We all know Michael Jordan, a dog. Kobe Bryant, a dog. You look at these individuals, and not everyone has that trait. You know what I mean? And so at this point, it's just he's just has a genetic malfunction. When it comes to having that dog, and you know, it's unfortunate.
It is the first game. You know, granted,
it's the first game,
so it's a long season, but like it's just not looking good. Especially, you know, y'all got ran off the floor against the Nuggets in the West Finals, swept. Back in the stadium, you know, the coach was talking in the offseason.
They talking about who's your daddy.
Yeah,
and
a lot of
stuff.
chirping when they win the championship. So you're thinking AD's gonna come out there and dominate, but he had 17 in the first half and then disappeared. And then Jokic is gonna get his numbers.
Oh yeah,
it's sad because I remember when they won the championship in the bubble. He had this thing in his eyes. AD that he was hungry. You know, where now you just don't see that hunger that he had. You know, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
The only hunger he got is what he think about what he gonna eat after the game.
That boy probably got in the locker room after seeing Jokic. He probably in the locker room was like, whew, but I ain't got to see him for a couple of months. Because I feel like everybody's scared of Jokic in the NBA at this point. Any big man, Jokic goes out there. That dude's literally the Terminator.
Yeah.
Like,
What's funny, we watching the game and Dad goes, man, do you think he worked out this offseason?
Man,
I was like, nah.
That boy was drinking beers with his horse. Drinking that Russian vodka with his horses.
Vodka with ice and riding horses.
Still had 29, 13, and 11.
Easy.
That's crazy. Triple double easy.
My man, he shoot jump shots like layups.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. 3 balls falling, he had 2 threes, just throw it up.
Yeah, bro.
And he can't jump over this cup right here.
No, he wouldn't make it.
And he's 28, just turned 28, so he's gonna only the way he plays is not grueling on his body.
No.
He can easily be well off, dang near in his 40s like LeBron, still putting up a triple double almost.
He just turned 28 in February.
Yeah,
he's young.
It's just crazy. It's crazy how good he is. It's like effortless.
Jesus.
You know, if you ever watch a play, it's like he's just like out there just. It looks like he's going through the motions, but he's getting buckets.
But he's great.
Yes.
Like it's crazy.
It's different.
You know what I couldn't stand as a kid was being in classrooms with people. And like that smart kid that didn't even study would get an A.
The test,
And I done stayed up all night and studied my tail off, and I'm walking out of there with a C+.
Wow.
But then my friend, I had to wake him up a couple times.
Yeah,
like,
during a lecture or something.
Yeah, like wake up, man. We gotta pay attention. We got a test tomorrow. He come in there and get a 99.
Easy, man.
Like that's literally what he does with basketball.
Wait, Dad, real quick, have you seen something like that before? Like a guy like Nikola Jokic, just like the level of dominance and just seems like effortless.
Yeah.
Not from a big man. It's been and that can actually do it from the perimeter and in the paint.
Yes, everything, no weakness.
Yeah. I just can't. Yeah.
You know who I would say is kind of like that, not like Jokic, but kind of like that was AI back in the day. AI wasn't going to practice. AI wasn't in the weight room. What he said, they asked AI, why don't you lift weights? He said, they too heavy.
Yeah.
Wow. So he didn't lift. He hated practice, but will still give you 50.
They said AI. I saw a podcast. They said AI, when he was in Denver, they said that dude would be out all night, bottle popping. They see leave with a couple honeys, go back. That way, show up the shoot around late, go out there, get 50 just off of just
effort.
Pure
God-given. This God-given talent, bro.
When you watch him even in high school playing football, he was just different.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
To me,
He was playing quarterback and free safety.
Yeah, he's one of the top 5 athletes I ever seen.
Ever.
Ever. So AI was different.
Yeah, man.
We got a long NBA season.
Long NBA season. Shout out to the Suns too. Big win.
Big win for the Suns.
Going up to Golden State without Bradley Beal and end up getting a dub. KD and Book look good. Everybody looks healthy. You know, game 1. So we'll see. We got 81 left.
Yeah, Chris Paul though fit right in though.
He looked good.
I think Draymond gets back. It's gonna be a lot of I wonder what Steve Kerr does with that lineup with Chris Paul and Draymond. I think Chris Paul is gonna be off the bench.
Yeah.
But imagine Chris Paul with the second unit. Like I can see Chris Paul really honing into that role and just because that's the point guard. He go out there. get Curry off the court. You got Chris Paul subbing in. Like,
Man.
come on now.
Yeah, as long as he can stay healthy.
If he stays healthy.
Stay healthy.
That he can be a difference maker with
Yeah.
Golden State.
And that's how the Warriors do too. I like how they like rotate a lot. It's because them dudes be running all the time.
Yeah.
Curry and Clay, they
got
rotate a lot.
Kuminga, they got Gary Payton second. A lot of guys running around, a lot of moving pieces, and come trade deadline, they probably get another star. So
Yeah.
Right.
see what happens.
Right. Man, speaking of healthy, man, the Arizona Diamondbacks have made the World Series. We are excited.
Yes.
It's been 22 years.
D-backs.
Ira was still coming out of diapers.
Yeah, I couldn't spell my name.
I think he definitely couldn't
3
spell.
letters.
Isaac was that's back in Isaac would just leave the house. Y'all remember that when he was little?
Yeah, I would just leave.
Isaac would just leave. He was 4. He'd just get up and just bounce. Just,
to the cul-de-sac.
we find this dude in the neighborhood somewhere.
Hanging out at somebody's house.
I remember one time somebody rang the doorbell and was like, "Is this your brother?" Isaac got a cowboy boots, some drawers, and a bag of pretzels. I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Yep.
They found him down the street.
I used to
Anyway,
hang out in the cul-de-sac with my little friend Cassie, little redhead girl. Remember
yeah,
that?
I remember her.
Yep.
But it's funny though. That's how long ago it was the last time we won a World Series.
Yeah, you guys were like 2 and
Dang,
3.
man.
Crazy.
I think you
Crazy.
were what, 9?
I was 9 years old. I had went to a couple of games that year when we went to the World Series, but I remember Tony Womack, Mark Grace, Craig Counsell with the crazy batting stance.
Yeah,
Randy
Johnson.
Johnson, Kurt Schilling.
Yeah.
Ben Jung Kim, remember him? He almost lost us the World Series a couple times. You look at all those guys though back in the day. Okay, of course, Luis Gonzalez, which was the savior.
That
if you
clutch
will.
base hit.
Huge man.
base hit.
But it was great and crazy to think that 2001 that happened. I thought, oh, we'll do it again next year. Didn't know I'd have to wait another 22 years.
That's
crazy.
And what's crazy, they didn't become a team until 1998.
Right.
So you got 98, 99, 2000, 2001. So it took them 48 months
Wow.
to win a World Series.
That's
where
back-
you got somebody like the Seattle Mariners who's been around for 100 years.
Right.
Yeah.
They've never been to a World
Nope,
Series.
never even made it.
Ain't never even been.
I
Never
think they're
even
the only team
I believe so.
in the MLB that's never been to a World Series.
Which is so crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Everybody else at least have been there.
Yeah, like at least been there.
Usually, them big city teams good at baseball
I'm
for
saying.
some reason.
And
You
Seattle's
know what
a
I
big
mean?
sports town.
It's a big sports town. The Seahawks may win Super Bowls. You know,
I know they're still sad about the Sonics being out of there too. So,
Yeah,
you know.
I will say it's weird how history repeats itself. I don't know if you guys have seen the history that has been going around, but the last time the Arizona Diamondbacks made it to the World Series in 01, the All-Star game was in Seattle. This year, the All-Star game was in Seattle. Also, in 2001, Randy Johnson ended up killing that bird on a pitch. Remember that?
I remember that.
This year, same thing happened. Not Randy Johnson, obviously, but somebody else hit a bird. That hasn't happened for 22 years. So 22 years, the All-Star game's in the same spot. A bird got hit. They're putting all this stuff together.
Yeah, history definitely.
And
Hey, that's
they're putting all this stuff,
crazy.
and also the dates. So the dates, obviously, the World Series starts on Friday, the 27th, and it goes to, November 4th at the most. If it goes to 7, the same dates from 01. Game 1 was on October 27th.
Is that right?
Against the New York Yankees. Yeah,
No way.
22 years later. So a lot of people, it's Halloween season, so people saying
And
some
aren't we a
spooky
lower
stuff's
seed
going.
again too?
Yep, lowest seed.
Wow,
just
that's
like in 01.
crazy.
So it's like all the history's starting to repeat itself, and if it really repeats itself, we're gonna win that thing too.
Hey, I pray to
So,
God.
shoot, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be in the house Monday,
Monday night.
Yep.
Game 3. We're gonna be in there. Still
If we
Strong
win,
podcast.
I'm gonna be at that parade.
It's crazy.
What?
I'm gonna be at that parade.
So if you were 9, I was 29.
Yeah,
Which I'm 51 now. That
Yeah.
just shows you how many years have gone by.
Man.
Since they've been in the World Series. So we'll be there Monday night at 5 p.m. sharp.
yep.
Yeah.
Cheering on the Diamondbacks. Hopefully they
the
can get it done.
D-backs pull
Hopefully
it
we can go and steal one either Friday night or
Yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Hopefully we can steal one.
If we
out
go in there and steal one in Texas, man, that'd be huge for us.
That'd be good.
And it's cool that I'd rather play the Rangers than the Astros. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Astros cheating
them
too.
Stros be cheating, boy.
Them Stros be cheating, and they got World
Stros.
Series experience.
Yeah.
That's huge in baseball.
Yeah, man.
That's huge.
Look like Dusty Baker retired.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man.
No
I grew up
way.
watching him as a kid. He was a really good baseball player.
Man, I did
Yeah,
not
I didn't
know.
know.
I didn't know
right.
Dusty
Yeah,
retired.
he retired. Yeah.
How old is Dusty now?
70 something.
Oh, man, it's time to go.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, he's always been a great coach, man. Dusty.
He's a good manager.
And he wear that 12 too on every
Yeah,
jersey.
yeah.
They need to stop making these baseball coaches wear the uniform
Yeah, it
too.
looks
I don't
goofy,
know.
bro.
Goofy,
I don't know
bro.
what that's
But
about,
at the same
man.
time, what they gonna wear?
That's like.
I mean, you could wear like a jumpsuit.
Or, that's like seeing Greg Popovich in the Spurs uni talking like, "Come on, bro."
Like, it's like seeing Mike Tomlin with some shoulder pads on.
Hey, Andy Reid in the Chiefs uniform.
And that'd be hilarious. And they got to wear the helmet too.
Yeah, like come on now.
See, when I was a kid, even the football coaches ran out in the little 3-piece suit.
Yeah, they wore suits.
Yeah,
they
wore
wore
their
the
little
tie.
hat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that to me
Top
is
hats.
classy. Like that's what's up. That's cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that they got to change
Even the NBA
that.
chill. NBA with suits. Now you got guys because of the bubble, they wearing wearing those sweatsuits, and now it spilled over. Even you told me the other day, it's weird seeing head coaches in the NBA not wearing suits because growing up you saw the big old suits on the bench. Now everybody's wearing sweats and wearing lax clothes. So baseball has to change that. Baseball is definitely it's definitely an old man angry at the sky sport. You know what I mean? it's very traditional. They don't like it. They don't like the jewels. They don't like the dance.
No.
Even guys doing bat flips and hype around the bases. Like, man, act like you've been there before. Like, bro, this is a home run in the World Series.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dance a little bit.
I will say this. I know they still look at that like bat flips and stuff as disrespect, but it's some of these chains these dudes be wearing is straight disrespectful.
Yeah.
These dudes got 18 chains on. They got the button down to hit their belly button.
Yep. They got their shirt all open.
Babe Ruth and then Mickey Mantle and them, they be tossing and turning in their grave right now.
They was out there wearing just gloves or socks and their cleats, boy.
Yeah.
They wearing no gloves, nothing like
now
that.
These boys,
they have the sliding mitts, stuff
all
they
the
got the
accessories.
elbow guards when you up to bat, the leg shin guards. That's what they call it.
They got all the accessories and
You
stuff.
got the helmet curving around to the
So
face.
don't hit you to the jaw, or whatever.
Side open is
A lot has changed. A lot has changed.
A lot has.
man.
Even how they take pitches too. I don't know if y'all know. Ooh, I spit. But I don't know if y'all know this, but they put a mic in the catcher's ear now.
Yep.
So they don't do any more signals with the fingers anymore. So the pitcher and the catcher, they get a signal on their headset, and they both know what it is, and they wind up and pitch the ball. So they're on the same page.
Which is so
I
crazy.
still remember that
Because the Astros started that. They were stealing
Catcher
numbers.
be like, they throwing all kinds of
serious.
stuff.
Fist.
Yeah. Crazy, man. But shout out to the Diamondbacks, man. We're hoping that we can do something with this, having this opportunity to be in the World Series. We're not even supposed to be there, so let's just ball out. Why not?
Let's do it, man.
So we'll be there on Monday night to support the home team, and hopefully we'll be at a parade sometime around this time.
That'd be great.
In a couple weeks, man. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, right.
So something's been going around too here as of lately. I don't know if you all seen it, but there's a video that went viral of this girl that was going on a first date with the guy, and he pulled up to the Cheesecake Factory, and she refuses to get out of the vehicle because she felt like it was inappropriate to go to the Cheesecake Factory on a first date. Now, people are coming out with lists of where you shouldn't take someone that you're dating to on a first date. There's all kinds of lists of places. A lot of them is really like the not fast food, but obviously fast food's on there. But the chains that are what are they called when they're all over the place? Like Applebee's is like a chain. Chili's.
Olive Garden.
Yeah.
These are places that females are saying that they will not go.
Yeah, give us a couple.
Red Lobster. Wingstop.
Wingstop.
Wingstop crazy.
Wingstop crazy.
First day Wingstop.
That's something after you comfortable, you settled in.
No, that's after the club.
That too. They're saying you shouldn't take them as a buffet or IHOP or gym.
The gym is
Church is wild for a first date.
Church is wild, yeah.
Bowling.
Come to church with me.
Nightclubs. Hookah bar.
Hookah, that's a
that's
vibe.
a
Waffle House.
Waffle House
Sports
crazy.
events.
One of them on there says
Sports
somewhere
event?
that requires.
That's not really a first date.
I like sports events.
Yeah, baseball game, something chill.
like a baseball
It's
game
gotta,
would be a cool first
it
date.
can't be like a high intensity. Like your first date shouldn't be like I
football
wouldn't take
game.
a first like
you hyped
we
up.
we going to a Steeler playoff game on our first date.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
You gonna
crazy.
scare the girls.
Especially bro, he's scaring them.
And you gonna be mad. And you gonna be mad too. You gonna be mad they lose. You gonna catch the rock. Come on.
Right.
Hey, she
Oh my
leaving,
God, this
car
guy,
driving
oh my
home
God, this guy's
but
angry.
she leaving us at
He's mad. You
halftime.
have to go.
This Negro crazy.
Girl, he's cute, but he's just so angry.
Girl,
I can't
he
be around
crazy.
him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, 2023,
Scaring the girl.
I
man.
can't take the girl to Lakers game with me.
It's unfortunate.
Where'd you take? Did you ever take mom on like a first date? Did y'all go anywhere?
Where did I?
Because I know y'all kicked it at the
They were
crib a
young
lot.
too.
We went to the mall.
The mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
At
y'all-
8,
yeah.
we're at the mall.
That's
8,
the- that's-
8 in the
and
what
it's
are those called in the,
the
mall?
food court.
Food
Yeah,
court.
that's
But that's a
But
different
that's-
era too. Yeah, a different era.
90s, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Like an
sure.
arcade and a mall,
Yeah.
like back then was like.
Nowadays, these girls want to go to Maple and Ash out on the front end.
They trying to go to Steak 44,
You know,
Yeah.
that's-
Mastros and
yeah,
whatnot.
like-
Like, come on, bro.
Like
Hey.
you got to be kidding. But what it boils down to is a spirit of entitlement.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, and it's really unfortunate. You know that like I was watching something here where this young lady, the gentleman's pulled up the Cheesecake Factory. She wouldn't get out the car.
Crazy.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And she wasn't even all that cute. She thinking she a dime and look like a nickel. You know?
Come on now.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
Man.
are you serious?
That's the main
Like,
disconnect, and also too, it's money. You know, not only looks, but like if you're a career woman, let's say, I'm not even gonna say job, exact occupation, but if you're a career woman making good money, got your own crib, got
Yeah.
your own car, pay
Yeah.
for your own stuff, and you want a higher date than a cheesecake, and cheesecake I think is still a good date, but
Absolutely.
if you're used to the Mastros and you want to get Mastros, that's one thing. But all these girls out here talking about Mastros ain't even been to Buffalo Wild Wings yet and got their own food.
That's a
So
fact.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends on the tax bracket you're in, and also too looks do play a part. But like if you're, I don't know, if you're not used to it, you shouldn't ask for it. That's the thing about the dating scene nowadays. It's definitely a big disconnect with that.
I
There
agree.
is a big disconnect. It's a lot of entitlement too. Like,
Yeah.
for example, someone like me, I would do like coffee for a first date or something like that. Where you could sit back. Like, I see where they're coming from, but at the same
Yeah.
time, if you're not even living in that
Exactly.
lifestyle, why should I provide that for you?
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't even know you like that. That could
Literally, I
that
don't
could end
know
up
you.
being a waste of $300-400 on my end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially for a restaurant like Steak 44 or Mastros. If you can't sit yourself down and pay for that, why I got to do that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
and
how I
and like
live.
you
That's
said
how I'm
too,
living.
like you said too, we might not even connect.
Yeah.
I've had dates where it didn't go good. I thought it went well, but
Right.
she, we didn't end up texting each other back, or she thought it went well, it didn't go good. That's just how it is in the dating scene. I'm not
Sure.
gonna be $400 in the hole just for something that's not even gonna hit off. Let's go
Right.
get some sushi. Let's go, something more chill. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Happy hour.
Yeah, happy
Happy
hour.
hour,
We
yeah.
Go, we go to a solid little restaurant. We go to a little
Half off wings.
yeah. We go to a little taco
Half
Tuesday.
off wings.
And I
and-
don't see-
Mark-
and I don't
half
see
off
what's
wings
wrong.
and margaritas.
Right.
I don't see what's wrong with
That's where I'm living.
Yeah.
my bad, my bad.
No, you
But
good.
I don't see what's wrong with bowling. I mean, like,
Yeah.
me potentially, I like if I were to date again, like I would do, something interactive, something where we have to talk, something where we both have to be engaged.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's.
A putt-putt.
Yeah, putt-putt.
Yeah.
Bowling. That's where I'm
Well,
like,
bowling,
bro,
I don't know. I'm gonna get competitive. I'm gonna get serious though. Bowling. Like, hey, don't talk to me.
And you got to remember, I've been with y'all mother since 1990.
Right.
And back then, people married based off of potential.
Sure.
Like, I'm going to grow with you. We're
Yeah.
going to grow together.
Yeah.
That's
Where
a good
now, these people are pocket watching.
Man.
And they trying to finesse a cat.
that's a
good
out
point.
his bread.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, what have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
That's the mentality that they have.
Yeah.
It's about what do you bring to the table. And
Facts.
I get it that a woman, the main thing on their radar is if they do, get wifed up, they want to, they want security.
Right.
I get
Yeah,
that.
I get that.
But at the end of the day, you got to be willing to grow. And then all this, I'm not going to be with nobody unless they make a six-figure. You need to get your head out of the clouds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come
People
on
don't
now.
know only 2.3% of males make over $100,000.
Right.
Only
Yeah.
2.3%.
So
Look
that's
it up.
far in
It's
between.
crazy.
So
I'm
So
like, yo,
you line up 100
like,
dudes. There's only 2 of them.
that make $100,000 or
That's
more.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
And
right?
it sucks too because there's actually good women out here that will grow with a man that are they're fine with the park date, they're fine with the ice cream shop date. They're, with social media and platforms like that, you have these women out here, even men out here that shouldn't even have a voice or a platform up top speaking for us. When it's like, come on now, don't speak for the women that are actually good. Don't speak for the men that are actually good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the average person is gonna. Of course, we know there's good women out here. We know there's good men out here.
Right.
Sure,
Of course,
But we
of
all
course.
know the BSLs. That's going viral. That's gonna have the most clicks is the controversial opinion. So
Yeah.
and also to the people out here, don't get caught up in the superficial stuff that social media provides because there's that stuff is it's all make believe.
That stuff's
Literally,
make
the internet's
believe.
fake.
Yeah, the internet's fake. All that stuff you see, don't compare yourself to it. That's the
Yeah.
main
Right.
thing.
Right.
Because what you see, you don't know. They probably thousands of dollars in the hole for all you know. They credit probably jacked. But that
Shot.
video looked good though.
Yeah.
What they showing you. It's like a mask, you know what I'm saying? I look at social media sometimes
Yeah.
as a mask. Like when they take that mask off, I'm sure they sick of doing the videos. I'm sure they ain't really got the
Yep.
money they got.
Right.
I'm sure they got did wrong by so and so. I'm sure the food wasn't that good, wherever they're doing. So yeah, don't get caught up in that and compare yourself to social media because it's fake. It's make believe.
Yeah,
fake.
and that's
Yeah.
where you have unrealistic expectations because
Yeah.
now you're seeing this person, they're posting their Gucci or their Louis, but then you come to find out they living on their mama couch.
Right.
So
or they ain't got or they don't have a car.
Right.
Like I've heard the horror stories because obviously one sister's getting married, the other one's still in the dating scene, and she's told me horror stories of like, yeah, this one dude just was like Ubering a lot and said his car was in the shop, and and then his bike got stolen, and I was like, does he have a car? And turns out, dude don't have a car.
This cat don't own
you know
a
what
car.
I'm saying?
Man.
But so you can stunt all day and take you to a Maple and Nash and be broke for the next week because you ain't got no bread left. You can do that all day to impress a female if that's what you into.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I feel like if you can't eat eggs and bacon with me at IHOP first.
Right.
Why? What makes you think you deserve a steak?
Right.
From,
I agree.
Steak 44.
I'm with you on that.
That's
almost
just me.
It's almost backwards to what y'all dealt with. You dealt with, again, potential. Somebody who I can grow with. Whereas right now it's like, did you grow? I got to be with somebody who's already grown, if you will. But I'm like, you didn't grow with me though. So why I got to do all that growth stuff with you and we haven't even grown together yet?
Right.
That's where I'm like, I don't like that.
And that's why we got to be careful out here because we always go with preference over purpose.
That's real.
And I think sometimes we need to marry more for purpose than preference. Now, you guys have heard me talk about the 80-20 rule. That person might fit 80% of, that might check the boxes at 80%. And the other 20%, you got to be like, okay, God, grace me.
Yeah.
For the other 20 that they don't really bring to the table, if you will.
Right.
And then maybe they can evolve and grow. In those areas where they maybe fall short 20%.
Right.
So, but we live in such a society now where they want the whole package.
Yep.
And there's nobody out here with the whole package.
Not at all.
We're all flawed, imperfect,
Absolutely.
and whatnot. So
Absolutely.
it is what it is.
So, a girl that didn't go into the Cheesecake Factory, I'm hoping that the Lord blesses your heart and reminds you, listen, sometimes good things come to those who wait. And I understand that you want to go to the steakhouse, but sometimes you got to start from the bottom.
Right. She needs to be humbled.
Yeah, she tripping.
What's that scripture you say? If you can't be faithful over the little things,
Matthew 25 and 23 says, "Be faithful over the few things,
Right?
He'll make you a ruler over many things." And then Zechariah 4:10 says, "Don't despise the day of small beginnings." I remember I used to have to take mom to IHOP, and we would split a $3.99 gram slam.
Yeah.
And money was tight. So, but I'm grateful that she still kept rocking with me, and I even shared with the church how in 2004. The best I can do is take her to McDonald's and order from the dollar menu.
Yeah.
And as a man, that was very humiliating for me. But your mom was like, baby, I'm not even about the materialistic stuff and, whatnot. She said, I didn't, when I married you, you was broke and I'm good now.
Yeah.
Now, 30 years later, I'm able to take her to Italy, took her to Greece this year. Took her to Cancun. We've been to Vegas a couple of times. We've been all over the world.
Right.
That's why y'all blessed again.
Exactly.
That was faithful over the few things.
Faithful.
But Dad, like you said, she knew you were broke when y'all got together.
Right.
Imagine you put on this mask that you got it.
Right.
And that means you gotta keep it up. And she gonna start seeing you in them same outfits.
Fella.
She gonna start seeing you. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, baby. He in the bathroom asking us to do, hey man, cash at me that 400, please. I got it. My car, man. I got hit by this thing, man. I got it. Like seriously.
For real.
Because there was another trend. There's
For real.
another trend on Twitter too. I saw they're talking about women that are like actually he said a girl got 4 drinks at this rrestaurant. They went to 4 drinks at a restaurant. That's gonna cost you a pretty penny.
It's gonna hit you like 60.
It's going in.
4 drinks, and
And it wasn't water. I know it wasn't water.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm paying 4 drinks at the restaurant. I better be able to take you home. I'm sorry, man. That's a lot of drinks.
We all know what day stands.
Oh, he said you want to work. You want to be rewarded at the end.
Hey, what does date stand for? I'm playing.
Yeah. 4 drinks is a lot, but yeah, I seen people on Twitter talking about you gotta hit him up in the back. You gotta hit up your guy in the back.
Right.
I'm like, hey, bro, hey man, cash at me that $50, please.
Hey, bro, remember
I
that
got your
bet?
back.
Remember that bet we had last week,
Yeah.
bro? You never sent me that bread, bro. I need
Hey,
that
remember
100.
2 years ago at the club, bro? Remember you had no cash on you? I paid for the entry,
Remember
bro. I need that 40.
You need that
Bro,
40
what?
back, bro.
You out here,
Yeah.
Yeah,
robbing
so-
Peter
So
to
that's
pay
our advice
Paul.
to the guys. Yeah, don't flex like that. Put yourself in the hole
Yeah.
either, bro. Don't do that.
Because
man.
it's-
Do
yeah,
Four
something nice
drinks.
like
Hey, 4
coffee.
drinks at a. I'm sorry, 4 drinks at a date is crazy.
That is.
That's crazy.
That is.
That is.
But you might be in good shape though if she.
Yeah.
And
If that's
even-
what you're into.
Well, yeah, 4 drinks, But yeah, I just feel like back to what you guys are saying though, Dad. I'm glad that you had a woman that held you down when you didn't have it.
Right.
To see the life you guys live now. You said you guys went to Rome. All
Yeah.
different countries. You guys have been to cruises, done a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I said earlier too, man, it sucks because there's good women out here. that are down for a guy that can really, get a man to the next level, really hold a guy down, be an anchor. But you got, women out here that are, they just, they're plankton. They have they at the bottom of the barrel, literally.
Right.
And they're, putting on a bad look for the good people. So hopefully the tides turn. But I think it gets worse over time. But I hate to be
unfortunately. Entitlement ain't going away anytime soon. It's not. Nope, not in this world.
Yeah, the picture has been painted.
Social media, really.
Social media, bro, it's done it.
Yeah.
It's done it.
Because all it takes, girl, dang, he took you to Applebee's again?
What, girl?
Girl, my man took me to Ocean Prime last night.
Yeah.
And now you looking at him funny.
What's wrong with him?
Am I just worth Applebee's?
But
maybe that's all he can afford.
Yeah,
exactly. Right. But you don't know that, dude had to go to the bathroom and text his homeboy, hey, man, let me get 200. I got you in the morning.
Hey, let me borrow them shoes, bro. I want to wear them. I'm trying to wear them McQueens tonight.
Yeah. I don't want to go on a date tonight, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like,
ain't even yours.
Yeah. And like I said, she going to start seeing you more and more and more. And she going to see them fits repeating. She going
to, that's another, he's still wearing that Ed Hardy shirt.
Yeah, he still got that same old Louis Vuitton shirt, man. Getting a little dingy.
Right.
The shoulder getting a little messed up.
Getting a little messed up, man. With that being said, hey, what age do you guys think is appropriate for your kids? I know, boys, you guys don't have them yet. Obviously, Dad, you got 5. What age do you think is like appropriate to allow your son or daughter to date? I believe the ages actually are different for sons and daughters, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I think at about that 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right at 15, 16.
Mm-hmm. For a boy or a girl?
Boy and girl. I think based on the maturity, but I think that you have to be open to when they do, because they have these hormones in their body, and they're attracted to the opposite sex. Well, we live in a different day and time.
Man.
It's a new day.
I was gonna say, don't assume. You don't get in trouble.
Nowadays, we got people that don't even identify as male or female. What's it called?
Non-binary.
I mean, we've got family members that move like that. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
We got dogs dating cats these days, but they human. But
and for whatever it's worth, nothing's changed.
No.
Hebrews 13:8, God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. In Genesis chapter 1, he said, I created male and female. He said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So I'm living right there. But to answer your question, I think that 15, 16, is a good age, because, I believe if you keep your kids in a headlock too long, that they'll begin to rebel, then they'll begin to resent you. And then before you know it, they diving out of windows and whatnot, diving into somebody else's window.
Yeah.
So you might as well, give them a pass at that 15, 16 years old today, and then even tell them, hey, these are the expectations that I have as a parent.
Right.
Obviously they still, if they want to, they can break those rules and cross those boundaries, but at least you've put some things into motion,
right?
That you would hope that they would abide by. But I don't believe in keeping your kids in the headlock. That's not going to be healthy.
Sure,
I understand.
That's funny because I was about the same age too when I started dating Sydney. Yeah, remember that? I was about 15, 16 years old. That was when y'all let that slide. So I would say about the same age, honestly. But I'm gonna let my daughters know, or I take that back. I'm gonna let my sons know more specifically. Hey, look, especially if they athletes. Bro, look, if you find a high school sweetheart, cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna keep it real and be like, bro, like if you're on your way to college, man, I wouldn't even date in high school, straight up. Yeah. I really just wouldn't do it at all. And same with my daughter. Let's say she's super duper smart and she's got a full ride somewhere or whatever she's doing. She's an athlete. I'm gonna tell her the same thing. Like, this may not be forever. Like you said, I'm gonna instill those things, my expectations.
Right.
But I'm also gonna keep it real with them too, based on my previous experience. Your experience is different because you're with your high school sweetheart. I'm not. So I'm gonna let them know, hey, make sure you don't keep your options open and be unloyal. Don't be like that. But at the same time, you got to weigh your options out. You got to make sure you're either in it for the long run or you just gonna wait and go keep on experimenting. I'm just gonna hit them with something like that.
That's good.
So that's
good.
Of course, it's easier for me to say because I don't have any children yet, but I agree with Isaac. I feel like you should let your kids date around that same age. Say 15, 16 mark. But you should really talk to them and let them know, especially when it comes to college decisions, you shouldn't make, long-term decisions off of something that could be potentially temporary.
You had that one girl come in our house.
Exactly what I'm saying. I was
How
young.
old were you, 15?
I was 15. I was
about
young.
15?
Yeah, I'm saying I was 15, 16. I was like, kid, that's when I first, y'all know how it is. When you first start getting to high school, you start seeing the girls, you 14, 15, and, stuff goes from there.
Yeah.
Hormones raging. You got the upperclassmen talking to you.
Yeah,
saying
right.
This girl over here, man, you talk to her, she do it, whatever.
Yeah.
So, that's how it is. But I feel like not having those conversations with your kids and telling them, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, they're gonna sneak behind your back.
Yep.
Right.
That's just what it is.
That's what it is.
Like you said, Dad, you jumping on the windows now. You telling the siblings, hey man, hey, keep an eye out, make sure they don't come out. Like that's how it is. So I'd much rather be out open and front with it than them just doing it behind my back. Now I'm mad at them. Now they're resenting me. Because kids are gonna do it anyways.
Yeah,
they're gonna do it.
They're gonna bend the rules anyways. I'm not gonna say they're gonna break them, but they're gonna bend the rules.
Sure.
And occasionally break them.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
gonna break, bend, and snap the wall. That's
And
inevitable.
I don't care if they tongue talking, got their feet rubbed, baptized. They gonna do what they want to do. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It is
Yeah.
what it is. A lot of peer pressure is a real thing.
It is.
It
It is. I don't care
It
how.
is.
If I don't care if your kid's a natural born leader or a wolf among sheep. I don't care what
Right.
it is. There's older people around them. You're seeing older. You're seeing
And it
women.
gets
You're
worse.
seeing 18-year-old women.
Yeah, and it gets worse in college too because you ain't got no
Yeah.
parent around, so the
Right.
peer pressure intensifies even
Yes.
more. It
Yeah.
intensifies,
So,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be out and open and be honest because
Yeah,
they're gonna do
yeah.
it anyway.
And just be honest with yourself. I'll give you a perfect example. This morning, I was laying in the bed, and my daughter Layla comes running in the room, and she goes, "Hey, Daddy, good morning." She hops in the bed. She always gets in the bed with me before we go downstairs and get breakfast going and stuff like that. And I'm holding her and I'm looking at her, and I said, I said, we've been talking about. You were over a couple weeks ago. Remember we were talking with her about being married, and how when she gets married, she got to change her last name.
She asked how to spell.
Yeah.
She asked
You
how
remember
to
that?
spell Steele.
She asked us how to spell Steele, and we taught her. Me and Ira taught her, and then I said, when you get married, you got to change. You got to change your last name. It's got to change. And she didn't like
like,
that.
"Nah, I'm not
so
changing it."
so literally this morning, hand to God, this morning she's in the bed with me. And she's like, I slept good. Did you sleep good, Daddy? I'm like, yeah. I always ask her, you have any bad dreams? She's like, no, no dreams. And she sits up in the bed, and I go, I can't believe one day you're going to get married. And she goes, no, Daddy, I don't want to get married. I was like, why don't you want to get married? And she goes, because I have to change my name. I don't want to change my name.
That's actually
I like my
cute.
name. I like my name. And that's so cute to me.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be a young man that comes along one day that she's gonna fall in love with.
Yup.
And she can't wait to be a Smith or
Yeah.
can't wait to be a Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not even gonna put that in my head like when she was 5, she told me she didn't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of parents start living in like that dream world of not accepting what is to come. I enjoyed that intimate moment with my daughter, and I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hear that right now. But I know around 15, 16 years old, she's gonna be hanging out with little Willie down the street.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It happens.
Little Jamarcus is hanging out at the house all of a sudden.
Right.
Mr. Steele.
Now they want to go to a movie,
Right, because she's saying that at 5, but at 25, she's going to be at motor vehicle, getting the new driver license,
switching it up,
excited about taking on this man,
switching it up,
signing certificates and whatnot.
Putting that R in the middle of the name. You Mrs. now. You a real Mrs.
But like we have
crazy.
those conversations on Monday. I picked her up from school. She's like, Daddy, I love it when you pick me up from school. I'm like, yeah. So we went to the store because Devin needed sour cream. She was making enchiladas or whatever. We go to the store. She asked me for a toy. I was like, nah, we settled with some bubble gum. We get back in the car. When we get back in the car, I said, Layla, what do you want to be when you're older? And she said, I want to work for Papa.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cute. But like, I know when she turns 18, 19 years old and she's in college, like she might want to go a different direction.
Right.
I'm not going to hold that against her and be like, well, at 5, you said you wanted to work for Kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold that against, because at the end of the day, it's that innocent, delicate time.
Absolutely.
Right.
And sometimes us as parents can get so caught up in that we forget what we was doing at 15, 16 years old. We forget we was
you were
breaking
thinking.
rules and sneaking out and hiding phones and all that other stuff. Like you don't want to. Obviously, you hope the best for your children. You hope they're better than you, but at the end of the day, they're human. You know what I'm saying?
They are. Just like recently, we saw something. Personality on podcast was saying how he's not letting his 13 and 15-year-old son
Correct. Yeah.
have a cell phone, which I think is just crazy.
Right.
That you would not let your 13 and 15-year-old teenagers have phones, and then what did he say? They can't date until they're 18.
Can't date till they're at the house.
So he's setting them up for failure because and he's a former pastor, so they're going to resent him.
Yeah.
They're going to resent God and the church.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're holding that kid in the headlock. You got to let these people have their space.
Yeah.
Right.
And let them experience life. And I mean, if you're trying to prevent them from falling, good luck, because the Bible says in Romans 3:23 that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Yep.
And not only that, Isaiah 40:30 says young men would utterly fall. So at the end of the day, you're setting them up for failure. Like I had a friend of mine, he caught his daughter smoking weed, and he took her car and her phone, and he said, matter of fact, I'm getting ready to put her phone on, or car on Craigslist. And I said, listen, man, don't do that. I said, the blessing is that you caught her smoking weed. The blessing that you didn't catch her having a train ran on her.
That's real.
I said, you got to consider that. I said, don't sell her car. I said, matter of fact, give her back her car and her phone, and go take her to dinner. Go spend some time with her.
Yeah.
Go encourage her, pour into her. And I said, all she did was fulfill scripture. Yeah, she fell short, like all of us do. I told him, what were you doing at 17?
Man, same thing.
That boy was facing the blunt.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that boy smoked the whole thing.
And I'm like, you gonna have this girl up here resenting you? I said, now she going to college next year too. I said, come on, man.
Every party she had, they gonna be having that thing.
I told him, I said, she gonna be like a doorknob. Everybody gonna have a turn.
Yeah, man.
I said, so that's how I'm talking to him.
You got to talk like that. That's real talk. That's real talk.
Calm all that down. I said, you had. He's like, but I raised her in church. I said, that's unrealistic expectations to think that she was gonna be in your house the whole duration and not drop the ball.
Right.
And I said, we're talking about something that's legal.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, so come on, man. I said, at the end of the day, I said, we could be talking about. I said, I got friends that have sent their daughters to college in first semester. Their semester starts with September, done by December. I know a young lady was back home by November pregnant. Dang. Didn't know who the daddy was.
Oh my goodness, my God in heaven.
Man,
that means there was multiple partners.
Right. But but that pastor had his daughter in the headlock. Her whole couldn't go to prom. Couldn't go to the dance.
Couldn't go to
prom? Imagine me not holding y'all back? Y'all went to proms. I let y'all go to all that.
Couldn't go to the game. Proms. You let us go. You even let us go to JV games on Thursday after practice. You wasn't like, come home. He was up there chilling.
Yeah,
because your kids will eventually start to resent you.
That part.
Because they're gonna rebel at some point.
And the church.
But you're gonna get rebellion from your kids at a certain stage.
Oh, absolutely.
But you don't want that second R, which is resentment as well.
Oh,
exactly.
When they were rebelling and they're resentful towards you, you're creating a perfect storm. Now, I'm not saying you should let your kids do whatever they want.
Right.
Let them just out here just wilding out.
Yeah.
But there are certain ways to deal with it and talk to them about it. Like there's been certain instances where you've had to pull me aside, Isaac and Ira aside. Like, hey, let's have a conversation.
It was a fine line.
Yes.
Right.
There was a line. There was really a line that we knew how to step. And of course, we were comfortable enough to be honest with our parents, talk to them. We could talk about the trends going on, how we're feeling. I never felt like I couldn't go in a room and not talk to you about something,
Right.
Or like, that's just how it was in our culture. That's how it should be. You know?
Yeah.
And you should be out and honest about everything.
Yeah.
That's why the family meetings we had are very important.
Absolutely.
Because that helped us keep it real with one another and be confrontational, but at the same time show love towards one another and ask for advice, respect, all that good stuff.
I never came down on you guys. I knew y'all was having sex in high school. Sure. But I was
hey, real quick, no, real quick. Hey, Isaac, I know you remember. Let me see. Isaac, I remember me and Isaac couldn't drive yet. We were still young. We were in high school. I remember, Dad take us to go get a haircut. We get haircuts like every Friday, Saturday. I remember every time we'd be in the car, Dad be driving, it'd be quiet, and I'll hear his dad. Hey, y'all be smart out here, man. Make sure y'all out here wrapping up, man. Man, y'all better not bring no kids home. And we knew. You would tell her, hey, every time. Hey,
I was 15, 16, 17.
Man.
I know what I was doing.
Sure.
So why would I put unrealistic expectations on them? Like, I need you to be living holy and upright.
I mean, y'all would say stuff like that. Y'all would be like, hey, like premarital sex isn't right. You know,
of course.
You guys grew us up. Like, we knew like what fornication was. Like a lot of my friends growing up didn't even know what that word meant. Fornication.
Jesus.
That's such a church word, you know what I mean? But like we knew what that meant, but at the end of the day, we're still human beings. We're young men. We all were athletes. I mean, good looking guys. Sure. I mean, obviously 2 + 2 = 4. You know what I mean? Like I would know if I got a son, he good looking, he on varsity, he got a couple offers. I'm not gonna think he's reading his Bible in between classes. He's on the bus before the game, just in Leviticus.
Come on, bro.
He's studying the book of Malachi this month.
He's looking at his latest DM.
What?
He said his latest
What? Come on now,
like where the functions at?
Right. We gotta have realistic thinking. Obviously, hoping for the best and guiding him in the right direction.
Yeah.
But we would be silly and we're gonna rip the hairs out of our head trying to control our children
Gray hairs and
when they're
whatnot.
17, 18, 19 years old. Like it's just unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And this poor pastor that's thinking his son can't date.
He's gonna get his heart
18.
broken, unfortunately.
I mean, man, he's gonna be the butt of jokes at school.
Man.
I mean,
man.
my God, you just setting that kid up.
Hey, look at this on my phone, man. Look at this. I got this right here. Look at
Yeah.
this video. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Especially with nowadays too. You know, it's super hypersexual culture with
It is.
Instagram, TikTok.
Everything's so
everything's
visual.
in front of
It's
you.
hard for me.
That's true.
I can't even go on my Instagram sometimes because like you'll just be scrolling and all of a sudden you see a booty
twerking.
shaking. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait a minute.
Just
Or,
randomly.
like, just
Yeah.
random stuff will pop up on like your feed or whatever. Or,
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. You had to actually look up booty shaking.
Yes, you'd have to Google
Remember back in the
shaking,
day? Yeah, back in
shaking
the
of the
day?
cheeks.
Yeah.
And you felt goofy googling booty shaking.
Booty
Now
shaking.
it's just right in front of you.
Right in
Like,
front of you.
whoa.
Even when I used to be on Twitter, I used to be on Twitter. Like I can't be on Twitter at church, bro. Something
can't?
crazy.
Oh,
gonna
same
pop
here.
up.
Same
Twitter,
here. I
was,
can't-
Twitter used to be
no, for
crazy,
real.
bro.
Like, I can't even be on the TL at
Back
church.
when I was in
'cause
high school,
they used to-
bro.
Some stuff would just pop up. Like,
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah, it's sad. I was in a meeting one time with a whole bunch of pastors, and one of the pastors, very well-known pastor, he made the comment. He said, "Men are having sex with their phone more than their wives."
Oh my!
Hey, what do you
When
do?
he said that, this older man, he started looking at his phone like, "How can I do that?"
Like, what?
And I'm-
He looked at the charging
Of
port.
course, right. So me and the other pastors, we started laughing at this guy because he was like in his late 60s.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, "How can I do
That went over his head.
That went over his
I
head
was
clean.
Like, poor
He's
fella.
like, what?
Man.
He has no idea. What
kind of app is that?
It's at our fingertips.
Everything's at
You
your
know.
fingertips.
So even
And
if-
that's why I'm
yeah.
grateful I didn't grow up in the social media world.
And like you
Yeah.
said, the guy we're talking about said that his kids can't have a phone. They're 15 and 13. There's so many things that you can do to have parameters on your kid's
Right.
phone. You can cut off texting at a certain time. You can block numbers of people. You can
You can
also
even have VPNs where you can't search certain stuff.
that stuff too.
Yeah.
You can
got a whole
block. You
bunch
can
of
block
stuff.
the browser situation. You can also get your kid's location,
Current location, where
current
they're at. Last
location, so you
location.
know
Yeah.
where they
Whole
are
bunch
at
of
all
stuff.
times. A lot of people go missing. You know, weird stuff happens, but you'll know their location
Even the
based
phone
off the
dies
phone.
now.
Yeah,
you
even when the
can
phone
still
dies.
find a location. The phone's
Location.
dead.
Yeah.
Wow,
Like,
wow.
there's
Yeah.
ways, a lot
You
of,
know what I
there's a lot of
mean?
ways to curve the stuff.
'Cause I personally think that kids should have a phone by like 6, 7.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
they're
Call
going
me
to
for a
school.
ride.
Walking to
you know,
school.
something pop off. I need Layla to be able to call you and
Absolutely.
Devin, or call
Yeah.
me.
Absolutely.
Call
It'd be
their
a,
grandmother.
It'd be a shame. My 8-year-old daughter. Let's say my 8-year-old daughter is having a bad day. She's having a rough day. She's been crying. She's missing us or whatever. It'd be a shame for her to have to wait till 3:30 to tell me how bad her day was. I would love to like get a text from my daughter like, "Hey, having a bad day." I can encourage her. Send her a
that's what's
text.
up.
Hey, I passed the
love
test.
you. Hey, I passed my test. Or,
Call her during lunch real
Right.
quick. Encourage
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
you know, like, hey, I forgot my homework. Like little stuff like that.
yeah.
I know they have phones at the school. You can call me. But I would love for my daughters to be like, hey, like a quick text. Hey, think about you. Hey, love you. Or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Or let's say when she's 13, let's say she starts her period at school.
Yeah.
I need my daughter to be able to reach me right away
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
say, Dad,
Yep.
send mom up here. I need tampons and some chocolate because I just started, my
Right.
situation.
Right.
And a change of clothes. That's the stuff that's
Yeah, that's real
important.
stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to start thinking about that.
I agree.
You do. You
Stop
really
thinking
do.
your kid is just thinking about porn all day.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
they just
Yeah.
need you.
And what it boiled down to, this pastor, he's scared of himself. He's
Sure.
scared that he's going to come out of his kids because he know the stuff that he was doing when he was 15, 16.
Right.
And I get it. You're a part of you's like, I don't want my child to have to go through that, but they're going to have to go through their own process as well.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And Exodus 20, verse 5 says, the iniquities of your forefathers will visit you. So whatever you struggle with, 9 times out of 10, your children are going to struggle with that.
Yeah.
We just got to pray that the struggle that they have is not as bad as ours was.
Right.
That we can do a little bit of a better job, making sure that we raise them in a good home and that we encourage them and pour into them and give them boundaries.
Right.
Because like you said, rules are still going to be broken and bent and all of that, but at the end of the day, I believe that's just part of life. These kids need losses and they need lessons as well.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
it.
it's just part of it. I mean, it is what it is. And as a parent, I get it. You want to protect your child from the world and all of that. But we live in some day and time where they're still going to make mistakes regardless.
Yeah.
Like I remember my dad. I remember we were in a car one day. His car broke down. I was 17, so he needed to get in my car, and I drove him up to his church. And while we were in the car, I was listening to Ice Cube, and he was like, "I can't believe you're listening to this." And Whoopty whoop. I said, Daddy, I'm 17. You 38.
Right.
You in a different place. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a
He's
kid.
on to jazz.
Hip hop wasn't even around in his time.
Right.
Hip hop was new.
Yeah, I was like, what was you listening to?
Marvin Gaye,
Isleys.
I'm like, but I said it's a different damn time. Cube is that guy right now.
Sure.
And he I will say he kind of listened. He was like, you know what, you got a good point there. He said, I can't. Basically, in so many words, I can't push my conviction on you because I'm in this season of my life where I'm nearing 40. You're still a teenager.
You're a kid.
And you got to go through your process.
Yeah.
I'm like, exactly.
Yeah. And that's cool.
When he got my car, he was like, heard all that.
Oh, I know. Cube wasn't talking about that.
Cube was that dude.
I ain't never heard Ice Cube rap about the love of Jesus.
Right.
But yeah, man. But that's a good.
He didn't make you scared to go to church.
He did make you scared to go to church.
Yeah, he did.
With Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, man, throwbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, good conversation topic there. Really, from the dating standpoint, as far as women, just be happy you got somebody who cares enough to take you out on the town. And then as far as our kids, understanding they're gonna be naturally attracted to someone at some point, and you can't sit here in La La Land. I'm thinking that their mind is going to be stayed on school and Jesus at all times. There's going to come a point where they are attracted to somebody, and it's if you want to date them, that's fine. But obviously, depending on your child's maturity, you should know your kid's maturity level and where they're at.
Right.
Where you can be like, hey, nah, you ain't ready for no relationship. Especially if you got D's and F's and whatnot.
Definitely ain't ready.
You ain't got no privileges.
Nah, I need to see honor roll student type stuff if you want to go to the movies with Jimmy on Friday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Up.
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we'll hit this. I'm gonna hit this. What I preached on, and we'll be brief because I know we got some things to do today. But I've been in a series called "Built to Last." We hit part 3. The first thing I talked about was the importance of renewing your mind. Of course, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing meaning you actually have to feed yourself. You just can't depend on your pastor to feed you. Jeremiah 3:15, he said, I'll give you shepherds after my own heart that will feed you knowledge and understanding. But if you really want to have leverage spiritually, not only do you need to be fed by the man of God, but you need to be feeding yourself. So that was my whole aim, was that it's so important that you and me renew our mind. The second thing I talked about was you have to be spirit-led. Galatians 5:16, it says that if you walk in the spirit, you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, I'm going to be transparent, and I've been transparent at church. I remember we got in a fight about 4 years ago. It ain't even been quite 4 years.
No.
And I wasn't spirit-led. I had just got off a plane preaching in Alabama. I get home on a Sunday night. Normally, I come home Monday morning, but it was Isaiah's 28th birthday, and I wanted to be there for him because I'm big about not just being a provider and a protector, but I've always been a present father. And so I was present. Somebody said something sideways to my daughter. I went into the flesh. We put hands on this cat. You know what I'm saying? They tried to say we jumped him.
It was not. Let me clarify that, just in case this gets out in the world. We did not jump anybody.
He got 2 pieces.
He hit him, then I hit him.
Right.
After he got done hitting him, and after I was done hitting him, you came back and drug him. So it wasn't like it wasn't like at the same time.
Yeah, but I say all that to say I wasn't being spirit led that night because again, as a father, you're a protector, and I'm just not justifying my behavior.
Sure.
Because I probably could have, said, you know what, less of me, Lord, and more of you. But unfortunately, Reggie came into the picture and not Pastor Steele because those are 2 different individuals, if you will.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say that we have to be careful that, we don't find ourselves having a human moment. And so my whole aim was that we got to be spirit-led. Even 2 Timothy 1:7, God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Sound mind meaning have self-control, self-discipline. So I even told the church, listen, I'm not just preaching to you, but I'm preaching to myself because every person should know what ticks you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we talked about that. So renewing your mind, being led by the Spirit. And the last thing we talked about was putting on the whole armor of God. And that's so important. It talks about putting on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness. And then we even talked about, it says, above all, to take up the shield of faith. It's so important that, if you're going to make it in this life, that you have to operate in the faith realm. 2 Corinthians 5:7, it says, we walk by faith and not by sight. Even Hebrews 12:2, it says that looking unto God, who's the author and the finisher of our faith. That word looking means giving him your undivided attention. And if we do that, I believe that we will last, because it's the enemy's assignment. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And like I was sharing out of Luke 22:31, he desires to sift you as wheat, which means he desires to break you down. So I'm here to tell you, don't fold. Amen. Keep going after God. Keep him first. You and me, I believe, are built to last.
That's great, man. That's good stuff right there. And speaking of being led by the Spirit, I was led by the Spirit that night when we whooped old boy, because you told me, Zay, get him. And the Bible says you need to honor thy mother.
Obey.
And you meant
and the angel of the house.
You got to be obedient to the angel of the house.
When the angel commands you.
When they grab the security grab, because I two-piece them, when they grab me, I say, get them, Zay.
Hey, I'm just being obedient, man.
Hey.
You gotta help.
Pray for us.
Pray for us every single day.
And I'm grateful that we don't sit here and pretend like we're some perfect family.
Not even close.
Right. Romans chapter 7, verse 18 says, there dwelleth no good thing in the flesh. One thing that our worst enemy is ourself, not really Satan, because really the only power that Satan has is the power that we give him. So really, the battle is within yourself. Jamal Bryant wrote a book called World War Me, because there's a war that's going on the inside of all of us. And so we have to do our best to lean on God's grace, so we can, because grace will give you the ability to manage your flesh, manage those emotions and so on and so forth.
That's right, man.
And so,
Sunday was great, though. I mean, from the standpoint of, honestly, being led by the Spirit is so important in this day and age, can keep you out of a lot of trouble, can get you where you need to be. It's just really being Spirit-led as much as you can, understanding your relationship with Christ isn't just so you can, have an encounter and have like a praise break, but it's guiding you each and every day.
That's right.
So that's just my little snippet on that.
Yeah, no, I like the armor of God part, because it kind of reminds me of football in a way.
Yeah.
And, putting on your helmet, your shoulder pads, it kind of all correlates. And also I want to add too, the fruits of the Spirit. I've been really reading about the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Bro, all that stuff will make you built to last. It really will. If you focus and instill your life on that, you will be successful. And you will be built to last.
That's good.
Now, you know, yeah. Shout out to all my children's pastors I had growing up, because the fruits of the Spirit is something that's always like, you know, I remember there were songs we did, stuff like that. You know, as a kid, you kind of just singing along with it. You know what it is, but as an adult, you really need the fruits of the Spirit.
You do.
Like all of them really come into life. And, you know, when you actually sit back, reflect, think about it, and, you know, you make different decisions. You sit back and say, you know, why am I mad about this? You know, and stuff like that. So shout out to all my children's pastors when it comes down to the Spirit.
Shout out to all of them.
And if you get it all done, of course, you'll be built to last. So it's nice. Are you still going to continue with it? Or
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. Right.
Nice.
We're gonna keep this.
I'm excited for part 4 then.
I think I might go. Yeah, I'm not up this Sunday because I have a guest speaker, but November I really feel led to stay. And
it's been
that
great.
might turn out to be a 7-8 week deal.
Yeah, I remember there's been a couple times you did part 12 with us.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Don't doubt in the drought.
Yeah.
Part 25.
Yeah, there's been a few where I've gone like 10, 12, 15 weeks, but I think this one will be at least a 7-8 week.
Okay,
because I don't feel released to get over. Because people need to know you are built to last. Suicide is at an all-time high. Depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, mental illness. Which my wife had a guest speaker here last night talking about mental illness, and it's at an all-time high. So we want you to know you were built to last. And one of the things I snuck in there is that you are wired to win.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember 1 John 4:4 says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
That's right.
That's good.
I know that's right. Well, hey, listen, that's a wrap on today. Still Strong Podcast, episode number 35. Make sure you click that notification bell and also click subscribe, so that way you get this podcast every single Friday. We'll be here next week. In the meantime, we hope that you all have the best week of your life, and go Steelers.
Go Steelers. Peace.
Diamondbacks.
Yeah.